All right, hello and welcome to the Build with Baer workshop. My name is Baer. I am here to build a model kit and hang out with you. I'm in a different room than I was on Thursday. I'm still in Seattle, still at my Airbnb, doing a build stream. But Mr. Bob is here. Harold's here. Hello. Yeah, if you're a subscriber, throw the Bear Cave emote, the Lego emote, Scythe emote, whatever you got in the chat. If you're not a subscriber, you can throw whatever emote you'd like in there. Um, Shout out to Harold for hosting, as always. But yeah, on Thursday I was in one room, and then they asked me on Friday to move into another room, which is this room. So I'm on a couch. I've got this table here that I'm using, low volume. It says Harold. Um, okay, I will. Um, Harold, how's that going? Is that better? Can you last brick? Hello? Can you hear me all better? Should I boost this up even more? Let me know if I'm still too quiet for y'all, because I can maybe adjust that a little bit more. Um, yeah, I also don't have as much of a voice, so maybe I need to project a little bit more. But let me see if I can tweak this. But yeah, let me know if I've made it any better. I think it's okay. Still too quiet, says Harold. But Crazy Like Fox says I think it's okay. Um, so let me see what I can do. Dude Wants His Rug is here. Hello, Dude Wants His Rug. Open volume mixer. Speaker, check. All right, it's not showing me anything I need here. Hello. Yeah, having some issues here trying to track down how to make this ladder. Hey, Pat, I got a Lego kit that somehow is 90% stickers. Mr. Bob, that's too many stickers, my friend. Recyclables here. Um, is anyone else besides Harold having audio issues? Because if it's just Harold, then Harold, I don't know, maybe turn your speakers up. If other people are having audio issues, let me know. I am on my laptop and things are weird. Uh, Hello, I saw you found the cat. Recyclable says it's low. Ultron, yes, I did find the cat. I was very happy to find the cat. Okay, so let me see if I can. Um, it could be louder. Okay, well then I will attempt to uh, make it louder. Mr. Rob says it's a little soft, but I can hear you. Okay, well, so let me. I apologize, folks. I did troubleshoot this, and also didn't change anything from uh, previous device properties. Okay. Oh no, that's 100%. Okay. Apologies, folks. Uh, Harold says I had to turn my TV up to 43. Well, I apologize that you had to turn your settings up. I Can I request your Discord? I can't find it. Yes, recyclable. I'll put that in there. Mr. Bob is hiding from a thunderstorm on his phone. Well, yeah, please hide. Yeah, let me put the Discord in the chat for you, recyclable. I'll do that there. We're gonna work on a Lego set, and I'm gonna talk about PAX some. I did watch a little bit of anime, just the come down of convention stuff, but I haven't really watched a lot of anything. Um, so I apologize that I don't have like a lot of conversation uh, for that. All right, so try that. Okay. Is that better? I have attempted to adjust my audio as best I can, so let me know if that is better for folks. For a PAX, I'm not at. It's pretty good. Well, that's good. Harold says yes. Okay, great. That's good. Um, yeah, I had a good time at PAX. I'm very tired. Um, I Even though I didn't run a table, I still ran around a lot. I was on 5 panels. I produced 2, and then I was on 3 more. And let's say that I produced two and then like helped out a lot with one, and then I was just a guest on two other ones. So it would still work, and it was still um, uh, there's a thing where it is assumed because I'm a performer and because I run a Twitch stream and I'm out and talking to people that I am a an extrovert, and that is not the case. I am an introvert that likes performing and likes attention. So what ends up happening is I drain my batteries and need to recharge them. And I'm looking forward to, even though it's a day of travel, I'll be on a plane for most of tomorrow because of the way the time change works, where I'll get on a flight at 1 o'clock and land at 10 p.m. Uh, it will oh, Epic Open World just subscribed with Twitch Prime. Thank you so much for that 7 months. Let's throw the emotes in the chat and thank Epic Open World for renewing. Thank you so much for that. Um, I still haven't heard from Sharks 2K. Sharks 2K uh, won the model kit at the end of last month and hasn't replied on Twitch, and I'm going to have to track them down. I've been waiting until after PAX to track them down on Twitter or whatever. Hello, Epic Open World. Happy to have you here. Thank you for renewing your subscription. Thanks for everybody that's here. If you're a newcomer here, hello and welcome. We did get a few new Twitch subscribers after panel chat and stuff, posting it up, telling people to follow me. A few people did follow, which is great, and I appreciate that very much. Oh, I apologize in advance for the rocking that's going to happen. My laptop right now is on a chair, but it is like a dining room chair, and so when I hit I'm adjusting it a little bit to help with that, but it does have a tendency to rock a little bit when I type on it, and I apologize for that. Just did it a little bit there. I'm going to try to balance it when I have to use it, so that it doesn't do that, because that's not cool. Yeah, and I got this little table here I'm building on. I don't have as much room as I did. Uh, uh, let's see, just there. I don't have as much room as I did in the other bedroom that I was in at this Airbnb. They asked me to move to this one on Friday, this room, um, instead of the one that I was in, and I said, okay, so I'm in here. But right now things seem to be okay as far as the stream goes. We haven't dropped any frames. Our bit rate's jumping around a lot, but the recording should be good. So, Epic Open World says, enjoyed the improvised postmortem as always. Oh, thank you very much. Uh, Asmo says, sorry I didn't get to say hi during PAX, but I had a low-key convention and was one of those people you shouted out who had a badge, but watched some streams from home instead of dealing with lines and stuff. Asmo, I totally understand. Look, I love having people in person. I love performing in front of a crowd, but like, yeah, if you wanted to watch Improvised Postmortem or if you wanted to watch Giant Bomb from the comfort of uh, your hotel or your house, like, yeah, I get that. I totally get that. Um, I uh, I watched half of a Retronauts panel today. Um, this is silly. In the Regency, the Regency is where the Raven Theater was, where they were doing the panels. I just was sitting and comfortable, and the Wi-Fi was good, and so I just tuned into Twitch from where I was sitting because I had played some board games and then was just moved to another area, and I was sitting in a very comfortable chair, and I just didn't want to get up, and so I get that. Um, but yeah, I understand a low key PAX. So let's know a little bit. Let's get some knowing done. This is a Ninjago set. It is a cool boat, the Katana. I'm excited to build this. As I said, we have a little less building room here, so we will just do our best to get all our pieces together and put everything in the proper order that we need. Uh, we've got some minifigs here, and yeah, so I'm just gonna know by color, do my best to give myself some building room as well as separate everything by color. And we'll just do that now, and we can talk. The Regency was so good for tabletop stuff this year, 100%, folks. So this year, the Hyatt Regency was used. It's a brand new hotel and beautiful facility that was used mostly in place of the Westin. I guess there were still some signings at the Westin or some corporate stuff or rented stuff or something, but the Raven is the new big panel room that's not the main theater. Uh, Mr. Bob just subscribed 24 months. It's your 2-year anniversary. Mr. Bob, thank you oh so much. Um, I don't necessarily have the emotional depth right now, or emotional uh, like agency to thank you. 2 years of support is incredible, and I appreciate it so much. That's what we call here in the biz an early adopter. So thank you so much for jumping in early. It really does mean a lot to me that you have continued to support the nonsense that I do. So thank you for that. I really do genuinely appreciate it. It's very nice to see. Um, yeah, always remember, folks, if it's time to renew your subscription, make sure you hit that notification thing so that I know that you renewed. Um, you don't have to, but it's nice. So yeah, the Regency, all the tabletop, because that was the big thing that people would talk about PAX East. When PAX East started, there was room for tabletop, and it felt like such an amazing thing. It wasn't weird little rooms on level 2 and level 3 and people feeling packed, and people like would ignore it and just kind of walk by it and they wouldn't engage with it. But now it's got its own like area, and because the Raven Theater is so big, uh there was a lot of traffic to go there, so people were going to that hotel to check it out. Lashbrick says, as someone who's always been to South, it's weird that West takes place in a series of hotels. Lashbrook, I mean, honestly, the Washington State Convention Center is too small for PAX, but there's nothing else in Seattle that would work. So, yeah, it's there is one panel room. There's one panel room in the convention center, but everything else is. I mean, it's also the show where there's the fourth floor and also the sixth floor are the expo hall, and you have to like so if you say it's on the expo hall, you got to say what floor it's on, which is odd, compared to other shows. East is so contained, South is so contained, everything's in one place. Unplugged is contained, and will probably be for a few years. Oh, how's it going? Asterisk, happy to have you here. Welcome to the chat and the stream. Pat question: how do organizers decide which panels get streamed? Seems kind of random. So it depends on a lot of factors. Some things you see. Um, oh yeah, PAX just finished. It wrapped up about 6 o'clock. I've been here in my Airbnb for a while, but I'm still in Seattle hanging out. So as far as I can tell, uh, one route is they paid to stream. If you see something on the main stage, like a Gearbox, that's a promotional deal. That's a paid thing, and part of that is like that. So if you see a company, that's probably why. The other thing is a thing they think and they assume that people want to watch. Um, Occasionally is a technical limitation of the space. So like um, the Westin in Raven replaced the Westin. The Westin is a small space, but they don't stream at the Sheridan because the Sheridan is not technologically uh, set up for the amount of bandwidth that would need to go out to do a streaming room. It's that hotel is just not equipped to handle Twitch, so they can't do it at the Sheridan. So what ends up happening is sometimes a streaming room may be kind of small, and so that's why you don't see Giant Bomb streamed at PAX East, because the room that they have streaming at PAX East is not the biggest room outside the main stage. So they put Giant Bomb in the biggest room they can. Um, and then they switch that. So now PAX East, the biggest room, is the room that Giant Bomb's in. At PAX West here, the Raven is now the biggest room, and it's being streamed, and it makes sense. But what ends up happening is sometimes a panel doesn't want to be streamed because it's the people who are doing it are want to be free to talk about whatever and deep dive and don't necessarily want it for a general audience, uh or I'm night entertainment, right? So 404ing it could have been in a bigger room than we were in, but we were up against other panels that they perceived would have a better audience watching uh, live. Um, and it's, they learn, they make mistakes. Sometimes they put something in a big room. I don't necessarily love streaming for PAX East my panels because the room they put me in feels a little too big for the panels I do. I've been very blessed that Improvised Postmortem on a Thursday night can still draw a crowd at PAX East, but it's not a full house, and I have to be okay with that, and I am okay with that because I understand that I'm pulling in names, but I'm not pulling in the biggest names possible. I'm not pulling the big streamers uh, to perform because I'm not asking them to do it. I'm picking people that I think are very funny and will put on a great show. Um, I got recommended. Grace was recommended to me, who worked on Frog Game for Frog Detective. That's not somebody who's necessarily known, but they were. Uh, it was incredibly cool to have them. And then there were a bunch of people going, I think that person's fantastic. Makes sense, but I find it odd when GameSpot does not get streamed. But I think people would like to see that. So I can't speak to GameSpot specifically, but I don't think that panel. Um, I think that panel was last minute. Um, and if you're last minute, you're not getting a streaming room. Like, I can't tell you for certain, but also they probably didn't tell them who was going to be on it because it wasn't a lot of GameSpot. The people that from GameSpot. That's not. These are just assumptions on my part because I know that Giant Bomb people joined in. There were a few other some other guests, and it was a good time from what I hear. But it, but also like I've had friends who were like, oh, yeah, my panel wasn't even on the schedule until like a week ago because I forgot to submit, and then I reached out and they had a room because someone canceled. So it's like, yeah. Harold, thank you. I enjoyed Improvised Postmortem quite a bit, and I'm glad that you did as well. All right, so we've got our pieces here um, for this Ninjago boat and bike. You can see there's a motorcycle. Got the frame here. I don't love the angle that I'm quite using here right now, but um, that's what we've got. I'm doing my best. This Airbnb didn't have like a computer table or a writing desk. Often when I'm staying at Airbnb, they have something like that, and it makes streaming very convenient. Not the case for here. So my laptop is on a kitchen table or chair. Kitchen table. I love a kitchen table. Is on a chair, and I'm using this tiny like nightstand basically as my desk. And building. And this is also where I've been putting my laptop and doing work. Recyclable says that shirt is fire. Yeah. I had a couple people ask me about this shirt. I don't know if it's still in the Giant Bomb store because I don't pay attention to the Giant Bomb store all that much, but I love it. And part of the reason why I wore it today is because Abby and Jan, I knew were back, were heading back home respectively. So I was like, oh, I won't run into either of them, and I can wear my Giant Bomb shirt. Which never be afraid of that, especially like at PAX or something, or E3 or anything. If somebody's there, if you're gonna go see Dan guest in a wrestling show. Jam just subscribed with Twitch Prime. That's 21 months. Let's throw the Bear Cave in there. Hopefully your League of Heels will make a return. Epic Open World, we will be back at some point. I don't know when, but we will make a return in the future. I don't know when that's going to be. But thank you, Jam, for resubbing. 21 months, fantastic. Thank you. Oh, Asmo says Improvised Postmortem remains. Oops. I don't know. Aristofan's here. Hi, Aristofan. Remains a highlight. The PAX Bake Off was also very entertaining. Harris Foster was a great host of Barely Contained Chaos. I haven't watched it yet. I had a panel right after his, so I chose not to be in the audience and then have to run because I don't want to run. But I will be catching the VOD of that, and I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. Thank you, Aristophan. I see you in the chat. Happy to have you here. Thank you for being here. All right. Whoops. So sorry. Right now, 1 second. My chat has been paused. Ugh. I'm running everything on my laptop right now, so you'll have to forgive me. But everything should be okay. All right, great. Just throw that in there, and that will. Yeah. Hi Pat. Hope you had a good PAX. I did. This was an odd one. This is the PAX that some friends of mine, the stables of PAX. This is the one they skipped, for various reasons, and no judgments on them for that. But it was a little odd to not have certain people that I'm used to seeing at every PAX, not there. Um, all right, so we got this marauder looking gentleman who will be riding our motorcycle. So we'll figure him out there. And then we have this ninja who is riding a boat. Gotta put this ninja in a boat. Um, but yeah, if you're watching here and you're new to the stream because you saw one of the panels I did or something, welcome, welcome. Hope you're enjoying it. I am still in here in Seattle. This isn't my normal build setup. This is the road setup. This is the best we could do under the circumstances setup. But all things considered, very pleased with it. Yeah, I'm looking forward to. I just noticed the 15 logo katanas. Yes, I have some extra katanas. They gave me extras, which is always nice. I missed every pack stream except the Giant Bomb Variety Hour due to personal things, but I enjoyed that. Well, Dude Wants His Rug, glad you were able to watch that. I had a blast doing it. I was very pleased when Abby reached out about me doing it, and my goal was to do a segment that was not where the joke was not that I was bad. So I think I succeeded in that. Asterisk says I caught some, but forgot it was on and was out of time. Yep, I understand. I mean, the nice thing is that Giant Bomb did film it, so their filmed version will be up. How did you come up with the this or that theme? Um, so I wanted to do Gundam characters because I thought that would be fun because I knew that there was no way that Abby was going to know, and I thought Jan might know, but maybe not know all of them. So I thought that would be a fun category, and I was trying very hard to think of something that rhymed with Gundam. And it came to me that Putnam doesn't really rhyme with Gundam, but there are a bunch of characters in Putnam counting Spelling Bee. So I thought that would be a fun, uh, just a fun thing to pick, and I think it turned out great. I love that Jan recused himself. I had no idea that he had been in a production of Putnam County Spelling Bee, which made it even funnier to me. And you're right, that opening music number was really great. I think the closing number was great too. I think they really did a fantastic job of making it feel like a variety show. I know that Jan joked about musical performance, but I think with more prep, like getting someone to do an actual performance there, though a technical difficulty would have been rad. But I also enjoyed that instead of that, we had um, the great Jabroni and his drink-based Magic Ray show, which was really fun. Jan has done multiple stage productions, including one where he got a pair of Heelys. Oh, there you go. I had no idea Putnam was a play, so there was a little while where I thought you had picked actual spelling bee contestants. Oh yeah, no. So it's a comedic play that used to have a lot of improv that has kind of been drilled out of it. It started off Broadway, I believe in Chicago, I want to say. Um, and yeah, the 25th annual Putnam Counting Spelling Bee. I had some friends who did road productions of it. It's not the most famous play by any means, but uh, it felt like a silly thing to reference on the show. Yeah, it just felt like it would be a fun choice, and everybody played their part real well. I mean, Grace is so funny and incredible. Uh, and Jabroni. It was nice to have Samantha involved. Samantha Kalman jumped in to assist Dave, which I thought was great. Um, you should know that before the show started, Dave Lang was in character. He would not speak as Dave Lang. He was to be referred to only as the Great Jabroni, and he was really hamming that up, which was very funny. But also, it would have been annoying if we had a longer production setup. Hello, Infinite Soup. Happy to have you here. Sticker check. There are 20 of them, and they appear to be clear as well. Mr. Bob, I don't know what weird Lego set you got that has so many decals and some that are clear. I mean, this has a few, but it's also a boat, so it needs flames. It needs to have fire and stuff. Motorcycle really doesn't need it, but I'll take it. All right, we got to put some wheels on this motorcycle. The Great Jaboni was great. It was a fun bit. I understood that the choice Dave made to not talk, but I think that Jan and Abby were a little thrown by having to kind of do a play-by-play on that, because I think they were hoping that the variety show elements would be self-contained. That's just my opinion. I don't know for sure. I didn't talk to them about that. All right, so we got our motorcycle. We put this gentleman on the motorbike there. Love me some ninja boats. I love this thing. Looks so cool. It's a small kit, which is great for traveling. You know, I left the box at home and just put them all in a shopping bag, and then it just goes in my luggage. But yeah, this might not want to. No, no, it will stand up. Okay, so I'm gonna put this aside. We'll look at this later. But that's a little fun thing because we got to build a boat. So we'll build a boat. Mr. Bob bought the Speed Champions line, which has a tie-in with Forza Horizon 4. I got 2 since they are $15. Oh, that sounds neat. But apparently, a lot of stickers. Interesting. Um, yeah, those Speed Champions are a ton of licensed stickers. Okay, yeah. Um, Fun idea for a future variety hour. You give Abby the names of different anime, and she describes what she thinks it is about. That's pretty funny, Epic Open World. I do like that. Like, hey, so what do you think? What do you like? Yes, someone who has never like. Those are generally pretty fun. Though, like someone who has never seen describes. I think that would be pretty cool. It was fun for like Abby to be like, I don't know what this is. I don't get this with the costume contest. Although, am I the only one who thought that the person who was cosplaying as Jan was actually Parappa the Rapper? I assumed it was just human Parappa. I thought that's what their cosplay was. And then it was like, oh, it's Jan. I was like, oh, that's even better. You can drive these Lego cars in England, Mr. Bob. Yeah, I'll have to look into the those sets. It was really funny because once we realized this young person was Jan, like instantly no more voting. We were just like, oh, these are great. Oh, these are great. These are great. I wouldn't have said I would not have said anything harsh about that young person and their Jan cosplay. Although the person on the end should have said Brad instead of Dan, because Brad wears button-up shirts and Dan does not. Unless he is also wearing a suit. So that person just wanted to be on stage, and it was not great. I thought the last guy was cosplaying as Tech Dan. Nah, I don't know. Didn't feel right to me. Didn't seem right. I thought the Dan Record was supposed to be Drew. I don't know. That's some wishful thinking in my book. Because also, if you're gonna cosplay as Drew, then you want to go with Flight Club Drew. You don't want to be Navigator, Pilot Drew. that's way more fun. I think that person just wanted to be involved and picked Dan. But I would say, yeah, I would say like dress shirt. You want to go or F1 Drew? Yeah, F1 Drew. Um, Also, anyone in the crowd who was wearing a plain black T-shirt could have just been Vinny, and it would have been very funny if they were just like, "Oh, I'm Vinny." That would have gotten a good response, I think, or a better response maybe, because I did get a response. Just I'm being critical, which I don't need to be. Uh, but also, um, the guy that was Dan just needed to say he didn't know where butter comes from. Yeah, okay, yeah, drop a Dan reference. Maybe things will be okay. Um, uh, I will say that I think the Chie cosplayer just owns that. Uh, just owns the green jacket. I'm not saying that person needed to wear the skirt and the bike shorts, but I'm not. I'm saying it wouldn't have hurt if they had. But that was a fun panel. I was really happy. I was very happy to be invited uh, to do it. Surprised to see Toei. Yeah, I was also happy that like somebody like look, there was a genuine um the best QA by far. Mr. Bob, I 100% agree. I one do not enjoy QA, which is why you most likely have noticed it is not part of my panels. Also, my panels are entertainment presentational panels, so it doesn't make sense. There was a Q&A for the um, marketing and networking. Sorry, networking panel that I was part of. So I was part of a networking panel, and there was a QA, and it was good. But I wasn't surprised about that. Also, Trin is a master of manipulating a room to her liking. She's very good at that. So I wasn't surprised that everything worked out. Um, it's too easy. Yes, Crazy Like Fox. Yeah. Well, it's the thing is like there was no time for anecdotes because you didn't have time. It's like, uh, is it time for a question? Sorry. Do you have a question? No. Okay, great. Move on. Uh, to the point where someone was just like, and then she's like, okay, bye. Very good. Trin is amazing. Yes, Harold, Trin is amazing. Um, there was someone who was in the line for this Q&A portion of the networking panel who started to give his response to something that we had said earlier. And Trin immediately was just like, is there a question? And he was like, what? And she goes, is there a question? And he said, no, a comment. And she's like, oh, I don't want comments. We can talk later. And it was rad. Because it was like, no, man, I don't need to know what you think about what we did. That's not what this is. You may call bullshit on everything I had to say or the panel had to say. That's your choice. But yeah, we don't need comments or anecdotes. Uh, it's just like, no, no thanks. And that gentleman was not prepared for that to happen. But yeah, it had to. It had to go down like that. I want to say right now, folks, it's weird to be streaming at 6 p.m. I understand that it is 9 p.m. for the East Coast, and for those of you on the West Coast, this is normal for when I stream. But for me, it's odd. Uh, it's an odd time. It feels like way too early. Bad panel questions are not limited to nerd conventions. Totally. When is your flight back? Says Recyclable. Tomorrow. I'm losing a whole day basically because my flight is at 1 o'clock. So I will land at like 10, and then have to get my bag, and then have to take the uh, air tram to the subway to my apartment, and then stop on the way and get like dinner, like a late dinner. So I will basically lose all of tomorrow. But the alternative, I do not enjoy the previous years when I have left on Monday night. Like I have just gone to the airport and taken like a 9 p.m. flight, and I don't love that. When I was in Vancouver, it was weird to play HQ at 6 instead of 9, and it was an hour earlier in Alaska. Yeah, I'm sure. But yeah, so I'm basically like, the nice thing is I'm on JetBlue tomorrow, so I have the benefit of having Wi-Fi that should work. So I will be able to do like paperwork stuff and emails and one thing I have not been doing that much these past couple days is applying for jobs because I have just not had time or mental energy to do that. So, got to get back on that. Got to do that. I mean, I've been good about replying to emails, although an email just came in today that right before we started streaming, so I got to wait to do that, but whatever. They're emailing me on Labor Day, so they can fucking wait a little bit. It's not important. It's not an important email. So, I'm not like, oh shit, I got to get that. Like whatever. Yeah, the time change stuff, like it's nice to fly in. Like if you fly really early and you feel like you get the day, that's great. Flying back like to New York, like I'm just losing my whole day. But I can sleep in tomorrow and I can get to the airport at a reasonable time. I can take my time. If the light rail is being slow for some reason, or if there's an incident, or anything happens, like I built myself a lot of time to get there. Um, and yeah, I have to check a bag so that way, like, I won't have to worry about getting through. I can take my time getting through security because, um, even though it's 1 o'clock on a Tuesday, there's still going to be plenty of people flying because they didn't fly today. Oh boy, I've never experienced a longer security line than when I tried to fly back like late Monday like holiday flight from Seattle. Oh boy, there's so many people. Uh, we're about 6 months away from PAX East. Harold, I can't think about a PAX. So I have to move this table here because I dropped a piece. So now I'm moving this table. You can see now. Look, it's my legs. That's weird. That's the thing you don't see on a stream for me is Pat Bear's legs. I dropped a piece and now I found it. But yeah, Harold, I don't want to think about another PAX for a while. SeaTac is busy all the time, says Asmo. Yeah, seems like it. Well, they'll have to deal with it. I'll be there tomorrow. I ate a bunch of food right before the stream started, which I generally don't do because it does stuff like this where I'm continually talking and suddenly I'm like having indigestion. So I apologize. Trying to keep from that becoming an issue, but I do apologize. No, Harold, it's okay. Don't worry about it. I just haven't been able to come down from this PAX yet. Like, the odd thing is, like, I know that a lot of people do like multiple PAXs a year. I do 2 or 3. I don't know how people do. Some people do unplugged and then they do South, and that's like a month and a week at best. And then, um, you know, East is like right around the corner. Like I don't know how people do unplugged and then South. Like that's so close to one another. I definitely need time to decompress. Like the fact that October is New York Comic Con is like, oh boy. And I'm not even doing anything in New York Comic Con. I'm gonna be there mostly just to see people and hang out. Which reminds me, I need to send an email and be like, for my contact to make sure that I have a ticket to New York Comic Con because I don't have a badge right at the moment. I'm trying to work on that. I love conventions, but one of my favorite parts of any convention is getting to go home. Yep, I hear you. And the speculation is that East will be the last weekend of February. This is a very quick turnaround from South, indeed. Asmo says, shout out to Ryan Hartman doing all the PAXs. Yeah, I mean, like, obviously that's his job. And also, talking about the unplugged South East being all tied together, let's not forget that some people have to go to Australia, and like they don't have to do the U.S. PAX folks don't have to do as much there. But they still have to go to Australia, and that's still like a huge chunk. That's still a big thing. So I a lot of respect for that. Uh, I saw some people last minute drop West last minute after they did Gamescom. Yep, that'll happen, Mr. Bob. Like people talk a big game sometimes, and then like reality hits, and they're like, okay, actually, I shouldn't do this. Um, I need to figure this out. There are a couple people that were going to be attending that had some family stuff or some personal stuff uh, come up and couldn't make it, which totally understand. And condolences for folks that are dealing with some personal issues. And just this was not going to happen. But yeah, it it's a fun show. I like West a lot. Um, my feet hurt for reals, for real. My feet are on fire, so I uh, I will definitely need some time to recuperate that from that. This boat looks great already. I really do dig this. I guess I could have zoomed in more, but I was unsure of this setup. Uh, but yeah, I'm really digging this vehicle. I think it looks really sharp. Lots of good bright colors. Also, another thing, we'll never see this green ever because we're covering it up, but we know it's there. We know there's some cool green in the layers of this boat, and I love that. I love that. That is a fun choice. I've always liked about these Lego sets. Must be nice to work for Sony right now. They're not going to anything. Yeah, I mean they were like, oh, like Geo was there. I know that Geo was there, and a few other Sony people were around. They just don't have the big presence. Um, not the big showstopper presence. Like I think Sony VR stuff was around, but they're just not. Yeah, they're kind of cooling back. I think they're gonna probably focus on Tokyo Game Show, and they'll probably have some. I don't know if there's going to be a PlayStation uh, Expo this year, but they'll be at Twitch. I mean, they'll do stuff at Twitch, which uh, I'm not going to TwitchCon. I don't, someone was just like, "Hey, I'll see you at TwitchCon." And I was like, "No, you won't. I'm not a big time. I'm not a partnered streamer. I'm not an IRL streamer. I don't. I'm streaming from here because it works. Uh, and I'm lucky. I was gonna do the pod, but because this worked, I didn't have to do the pod, which is great because it's weird. Uh, and I did look, uh, and I was like, no thanks. Is the networking worth it? Well, uh, though, who really just networks? Yeah, I mean, astrology. A lot of what I do at PAX is like handshakes and reminding people what's going on and putting faces. Like a lot of my PAX is seeing people that I only see at conventions, right? Because they live in San Francisco or Portland or Seattle or Boston, and I just don't get a chance. They don't come to New York that often, or I don't go to where they are. So it's a nice way to catch up with some people. And then for me, I'm at a point in uh, my under to unemployment where I really do need to reinforce those connections, remind people that I'm out there, and that if they hear of anything that I'd be right for, to give me to let me know. Uh, and that was like important for this show, but it's not you know not trying to be rude to folks at Twitch, but TwitchCon seems like a shit show and a waste of time. I mean, there are people who love it. Epic Open World, there are folks that's their convention they go to because their life is on Twitch, and the people that they spend their afternoons and evenings and mornings with are at Twitch, and they have a great time. Um, There have been side events that would not happen without PAX. I have met people at, but itself could be rough. Yeah, TwitchCon is not that old. Astrology. They done it in a few different venues. They're finally doing it in the same venue. Most of the shit showness is the fact that they were trying out different venues and trying out different cities. And the first year you do a convention in a city, it will go bad, or not as good. So it's gonna stay in San Jose. That's the thing. Um, but they tried a bunch of different things. And once you pick a city and then you pick a building, then you can apply the mistakes or the missteps to the next time. Um, Most people working the floor want to talk as many people as possible about the very specific thing that they're there for. Yeah, Mr. Bob, I think that that's true. I think that like um, there is, there are people who are going there uh, and treating it like a mini GDC or a chance to reconnect with someone that they met at GDC or to meet people that, like to go to talks about things and Twitch dev, or not Twitch dev, PAX dev people really enjoy and seem to get a lot out of, which is cool. I was in the area when that happened. Lots of young fans on those rentable scooters, I'm sure. I did see the back end of Fortnite with Dave Lang at a bar that is no longer there. Okay. Good night, everyone. Have a good trip home. Thank you, Harold. Appreciate you being here. Thanks for hanging out in the chat. Um, See you in the next stream. My next stream will be on Thursday. Because that is I will be back to my normal schedule. I will not be doing a bonus stream this week. PAX has very limited offsite locations. I mean, yeah, I think that like, ooh, where's this piece? Oh, this is bag 2. We're in bag 2 now. So these are all extras that we will put for safekeeping, and then we will start noling bag 2 to build up this thing. Not west, no, east, yeah. PAX East has like bars that take a really long time to get to. Yeah. I need to get to house chores at some point. Well, whenever you need to, I totally understand. I'm happy to have you here, but I also understand that people got stuff they got to do. So yeah, so we're gonna null bag 2. But yeah, East is a little tougher. East is a lot of like I have found it used to be that people would try to schedule things on Thursday because people would come in on Thursday, set up their booths, and then be free Thursday night. But now that it's a 4-day convention, not a lot of people are doing Wednesday events. And it seems like a lot of people are like, we're doing Sunday events. Come on Sunday and hang out, like post stuff. It seems like people are doing when they do offsites. I don't know, Epic Open World. I mean, they'll find someone, right? They'll find someone big. They also treated Dr. Disrespect's return like it was no big deal, and as if he hadn't been suspended, because it's better for business if they treat it like it's no big deal. And like, oh, what? Weird. He's back. Hooray. Like, that's better for business. So I'm not worried. They'll find someone to pin their hat on. I've got big Hearthstone streamers and Minecraft streamers and Fortnite streamers, and they'll do just fine, I think. There's one bar that is open after 11 right by the convention center, so the names of the bar staff there now. Shout out to Cole. Hell yeah. What up, Cole? But yeah, I do some offsite stuff. Like I went to a couple parties to kind of like meet some people and reintroduce myself to some people that like I know, but we haven't really communicated that much. And like, I do the work here and there. Whoops. I dropped another piece that I will have to get up and get in a moment, but I will wait until I have to get it because I don't want to get up right now. For someone they don't want to highlight, he's on the front page often. Yeah, it's also they're just gonna wait because eventually people will move on to another thing they're mad about. Not everyone, certainly. There are plenty of people who are just like, yeah, I have no interest in ever watching a Dr. Disrespect stream. I don't enjoy the character. I didn't enjoy the character when it was just a character that was relatively harmless. And I certainly don't want to support somebody that would take a live Twitch stream into a bathroom. Just not interested. Coming next year, MixerCon featuring Ninja and someone else. Yeah, I don't know if Mixer is interested at the moment in doing a convention. I think they got to build up their user base first. But I have friends that are going to go, and Khalif, who did 404ing it with me this year, is moderating a bunch of talks there, and I'm psyched for him because that's exposure to a bunch of people that might not know him. So that's rad. So I hope it goes well for him. If anything, it gets mixed in with Xbox experience. Yeah, I could see Xbox if they did another thing like really, really highlighting Mixer and going that route. Yes, 100%. That's definitely gonna happen. Yeah, you're gonna see him play Halo, and you're gonna see him play. I'm sure he's gonna be playing Gears. Yeah. Yeah. So if there's another Xbox experience, you could definitely see Mixer uh, being a big portion of that, and a big focus. Stretch a little bit because it's not the best setup here. We will take a pause for the cause once I'm done knolling, and I can tell you about different ways you can support the stream if that's something you'd like to do. I am just separating pieces right now by color, and then we will get into the actual building portion and continue this build. Heck yeah. And something about Adidas. Really opening spot on me, and keep growing. Their show is really good and valuable. I 100% agree with you, Asmo. I think Spawn on Me is really awesome, and I've done everything I can these days lately to help put him in touch with the right people, and use my connections to help. And he's got great presence in a lot of places, and so I'm happy that he's going to be moderating. I hope that opens him up to a bigger audience, and I hope it goes well for him. I'll be watching some of TwitchCon, but the singer of the band I saw on Saturday used "pause for the cause." Heck yeah, Mr. Bob. It's an old radio term that I inherited somehow and can't stop using. I don't necessarily want to stop using it, but I don't remember when it started, and I don't see it stopping. I see myself saying a pause for the cause quite a bit. Once again, I did drop a red piece, and I will go and pick that up when the time comes. But we'll finish knolling, and then I will, just talk about Patreon and all kinds of other stuff. September is starting on September 3rd. So tomorrow. So I'll be, plugging that more on Thursday, but that's a thing that's coming up. Basically, if you use bits, you get a bonus bits happen, which is cool. And if you're not if you're a first time subscriber and you use cash money from like the 3rd to the 26th, I think it is. If you're a new subscriber, you get it for your first month for half off. And basically, Twitch eats their cut, and I would still get paid the same amount, and then Twitch doesn't get anything. And it's sponsored by Subway. And I don't know why that's what's happening, but I do think that September, sponsored by Subway, is smart. If not good, it's at least smart. So hopefully that'll be a cool event. But like I said, more of that on Thursday, my next actual stream. Eat fresh indeed. Because I could theoretically look on Wednesday. I could suddenly want to stream, but I feel like and do a bonus game stream. But I feel like I'm not going to do that. I have the feeling that tomorrow is going to really drain me, the trip, home, and then I am gonna get back to New York, and then Wednesday I am gonna wake up and have to go grocery shopping and take care of other things, and I'm just not gonna want to stream Wednesday night. So I imagine that Thursday will be the next stream after this, because it's a lot. Anyway, now's the part where I try to do cut and paste. That's gonna be fun. Hello and welcome. First and foremost, if you're currently a subscriber, throw the Bear Cave emote in the chat. Let the people know that are watching that aren't subscribers that they could subscribe, either using their Twitch Prime coin or Cash Money. Like I said, September is starting tomorrow, so you might want to wait if you were going to use Cash to subscribe. But if you plan on using your Twitch coin because you linked your Amazon Prime with Twitch, you could do that. That is a way to support the stream. I also have a Patreon. It's the beginning of the month, so it's a great time to get on Patreon. Tonight, after the stream, I'm going to be sending my first Patreon message of the month to all my subscribers to thank them. So it's a great time to join Patreon. $5 you get videos early, so the archive of this will go up to my Patreon first, and then tomorrow, at some point, I will make it available for everyone else. So that is an option. I also have an Amazon wish list. If you'd like me to build something, I will build it if you buy it from Amazon. It gets sent to my house, and it's nice and convenient. I'm gonna put this in chat, but I will also mention something. And once again, this won't take too long. We're just doing a pause for the cause here. Oh, Ultron just cheered, and your cheer rewards are shared with 3 others in chat. That's rad. Ultron, first and foremost, thank you. Bits and coins are always appreciated. And then a few people got some sort of reward. So I don't. Oh, yeah, you got a fight corn. Okay, enjoy. Um, I'll mention a couple things on the wish list here. Continue talking about that. Things that I think are cool. Little Dragon Ball kits that are like day builds. The Grand Ship, the Thousand Sunny, and the Going Merry are both Amazon Prime purchasable. They're from One Piece, and I would like to build those. Those would be fun. Some Lego sets, a bunch of model kits, and then the very bottom of my wish list is like practical things. If you want to buy me a very expensive chair, you could do that. If you want to buy me a brand new stand for my monitors, because I have a feeling that one of those is going to my monitor stand is gonna fall apart by the end of the year. I can tell it when I'm moving. I don't know, so stuff like that. But none of that's required, none of that's necessary, and it's all awesome. But you don't have to buy anything on Amazon wish list if you don't want to. You have another option if you're interested. You could go to USA Gundam Store.com and buy a gift card. And then what you do is you buy the gift card. They send you a code in the mail, and then you send me that code either through Whisper here on Twitch, or my DMs are open, so you can always DM me that way. And that's a way to support the stream, because then I can buy model kits from USA Gundam if you were like, I don't want to buy anything from Amazon. We're going to keep building here, get into the second bag of this Lego set, but I do want to just say real quick, I've got a couple plugs of video stuff. My coffee, that's just for, donations, always appreciated. That's just cash money, one-time donations. The Build with Bear community, I mentioned it earlier, recyclable, ask for the link, but here is the link. I always post videos that I do there, so you can find those if you're not following me on Twitter, or if you're not on Twitter that often, in which case, congratulations if you're not on Twitter that often. So I was on some panels this weekend, and I'm going to plug those panels, the video of those panels right now. The first one is the Improvised Postmortem. The Improvised Postmortem was on Twitch, and I ripped the archive for Twitch and put it on my YouTube. It's a great one. So enjoy that, please. Um, just so you know, the improvised postmortem, the person who was running the Twitch stream was switching to the slides a little bit in the beginning, but then eventually stopped doing that. So uh, not every slide is shown. So what I did was in the show description of the postmortem is a link to a Google Drive PowerPoint from the show, so you can follow along if you'd like. Also, I recorded 404ing it. It's not a good recording. It is a recording of a monitor, and it is the audio from that camera picking up because the camera was on the stage. It is audio commentary at best and amateurish, and I apologize for that. It is unfortunately the best thing I could do. The recording out of the board didn't come in. The audio recording out of the board didn't come in. The my options of filming in the house didn't work. OBS wasn't cooperating, so I couldn't record the PowerPoint, which is I just wanted to record the monitor, but that didn't work. I would have had to plug in a second monitor, put PowerPoint on that, and record that, and that just wasn't going to work. Mike Drucker makes a simply amazing entrance in the improvised postmortem. Drucker is incredible. Drucker does a great job. I'm going to drink a little liquid here. Hello, Girly Buttercup. Happy to have you here. Welcome, welcome. Always a pleasure. Thanks for coming in. We just did our pause for the cause, so you came in a great time because now we're in bag two of our Katana, the Ninja boat. We're building a boat, folks. But yeah, so I do want to talk about a little bit of anime. I have not watched much. I need to catch up. I'm going to quickly look at and read off all the shows that I need to catch up on. I need to watch from this week. Is it wrong to try to pick up girls in the dungeon? Dr. Stone, Given, Demon Slayer, and One Piece. Because I only watched 3 shows, which is pretty good considering I had a very busy week. I wasn't even gonna. I watched 2 of them today, just decompressing before the stream started. So that's why I was able to. And one I watched because I saw a clip of it on YouTube, like and I was like very intrigued, and so I wanted to watch it. Hey, it was a really intense episode of Fire Force this week. This week's Fire Force was really good. I really like that show. You know, it is a fairly overlooked shonen show. I don't think it's incredible, but I think it's very good. I think the voice acting is really good. I think the animation looks great. Um, so I really do enjoy that show. And yeah, there was a really great hero moment. There's a lot of great sadness. There's um, some real emotional depth, and uh, it was a lot. There was a lot going on in. Ooh, I missed a step here, folks. So I'm gonna go dig into. Apparently, in bag 1, there were a couple pieces that I didn't put on that I was supposed to. But luckily, obviously, we saved all of them, so I can put these on because I goofed up. So now I can put back. Yeah. So Fire Force, real good. I have 3 unbuilt Lego Overwatch kits that I need to get to. Haven't energy to build because we've been sick. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, girly. Buttercup. I know that's that when you're like, I want to do this, but I just can't. I understand. I've had a lot of fun with all the Overwatch kits. I did, Diva and Reinhardt. I think were a great duo and a really fun kits to build. Bastion took a while, but I think it turned out really great. I haven't done the other ones. I know there's like Tracer's like vehicle that looks fun. I opened the Bastion set to start building over a month ago, and the bags are still just sitting there. Yep. But here's the thing. It's a thing you're going to get to. I hope you can look at it like that. It's not a thing that you've been neglecting or you haven't been able to do. It's a thing that you can savor and look forward to. And then when you get to do it, it's going to be really fun because it's a great build. Its eye is LED. It's awesome. It's a cool little LED light. Yeah, I don't want to rush it. Yeah, I mean, especially like you don't want to do it just because you feel like you have to. So Fire Force, there there was some drama and some tension in it. I was really psyched about that episode. I do think that show is it's worth watching. Maybe not worth watching is Arifureta. Uh, I know I've been a broken record about this show, where the first few episodes were really strong, and now it's just every other isekai, and it's not even a great isekai. Um, you've Asmos is they've had a kit for 2 months. That's a long time to not be able to play something or to build something. Uh, Mostly for me, it's when I get a kit and then like I've had this Batman Lego kit, but because y'all have been incredibly generous with sending things um, in the mail, or like I buy like a Lego set like the Surfer van, and then my $10 patrons vote that they'd rather see me do that. I've had this Batman kit that also has Batwoman that I haven't built for a couple months now, and like I want to build it. It's weird. It's just like it just doesn't win a poll. It's never won a poll, and like eventually, well, I mean, eventually I'll just gonna have to, uh, because I eventually will just like need to get it done. Where does these pieces go? Oh, okay. One there. Oh, there. Oh, there it is. I literally just was staring at this kit, looking for where they wanted me to put a piece. As I said, Arifureta is a very disappointing show. Um, I like that he is reconnected with his teacher, and feels this character that is like a big old badass is feeling some, not like regret, but he's feeling some camaraderie. Kind of lets her know what's going on in the world. Um, there's a CG. There's some CG horses that look incredibly awful. There's no action in this episode. There's like, there's one thing. There's a gunshot you don't see, and you see the reaction to it. Uh, that's very frustrating. It kind of felt like a worthless episode. And overall, I think it's not good. I think that if anyone ever asked me about Arifureta and if they should check it out, I would say you should watch the episodes up until you see a bunny girl. When you see the bunny girl, that means the show has gone bad, which is a shame. Um, let's see. And then the other show I saw, it was cute. If it's for my daughter, I'd even defeat a demon lord. I've been talking about that show. It's a weird show, right? Because it's an action show, but sometimes there isn't any action, and it's a slice of life with in a fantasy setting, but also most of the time slice of lives don't have action, and they don't have like emotional depth to them. And this one, like, there's so much hurt uh, in uh, in the little demon girl, and it's weird that the Fatina, that like it's weird that they acknowledge it. Like in an isekai, bad things will happen to a character, and then the hero will show up, and then everything's okay because it becomes about hero worship. This show isn't doing that. I mean, it's not an isekai, but it's not doing that. Like basically, this 10-year-old demon child goes, "If I ever turn bad, tell me because I'll know you're doing it because you love me." And it's just like that's a lot. What the fuck? What's going on with this show? So this is the boat here for I guess storage. Top of the boat flips up. That's pretty cool. But yeah, RE4. No, it's not the best show, but it's definitely not the worst show. Like I certainly do enjoy it. Um, I don't know. I'm gonna pick up the pace here on this Lego set because this is a 1 day build. If we go over, we go over. I think like Lego is certainly for me anyway a kind of thing where I can uh, it's not as draining as working on a model kit. Me and my girlfriend watched the first couple episodes of a 2016 show called Flying Witch. It's cute and so far not creepy. Yeah, Flying Witch. So I don't think there's anything wrong with Flying Witch. I wouldn't call it a perfect show. It is one of the best slice of life shows that exist. I love it. I love that show. Because nothing really happens. I would say the biggest bummer of the show is there is a they invade a character's personal space and make a minor character is good all the way. I agree. There is a minor character who has certain requests, like certain like boundaries that they invade unknowingly, but still invade it, and they do apologize, but they could make it a bigger deal, but they don't. Um, uh, but overall, I think that that show is very good and very fun. Um, uh, and oh, there's some great characters. I share a clip from that show pretty often. Um, of a character just like this is just like weird. It's a weird clip of a character like reacting to her cousin, her assumption that her cousin has a girlfriend, and her being like very psyched about it and very like I can't reproduce the sound, but it's something to the effect of like, oh, oh, hey, 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 hey. It's something like that, where she's like, oh, yeah, look at this girl. And then when she finds out that they're not dating, that they're just childhood friends, she's like very mad about it. I think it's great. Uh, Started watching the Dungeon Show now that I found it on Hulu. I'm the only one who thinks the goddess character is annoying and adds very little to the show. So are you talking about is it wrong to try to pick up girls in a dungeon? Epic. So I think that's kind of the point of Hestia, is that she only has one child. She only has Belle. Uh, yeah, Lashbrook, I gotta catch up. So I think that like she's she's trying, and yes, her interest in Belle and her overprotectiveness of Belle is can be annoying and can be grating. But I think that as the show goes on, I think you will come to like her a bit more, and the length she's willing to go for Belle, um, who is like the first person that like of her family who she has like a deep attachment to. But I do think you'll like Hestia a bit more as the show goes on. Maybe you won't, but I think you might. Um, yeah, Demon Slayer is great. I need to catch up on Demon Slayer. People have been talking. This last one is video is unavailable region. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hear that, Girly Buttercup, that you can't watch Demon Slayer. Um, it may be that some another streaming service has it in your country, or that because I certainly don't know. But you might want to Google it and see if another if it's not available in your region because someone else has it. There is no other streaming service in my country. Okay, Girly Buttercup, then it means that they were unable to get on the list there. Uh, I know that they've been doing a lot of dubbing deals with certain regions, so maybe it'll show up, but that doesn't necessarily make sense for your country, does it? So I don't know. I'm sorry to hear that. Those things are not fun. If Crunchyroll and Netflix doesn't have it, it's not available here at all. Lots of anime never gets licensed to most of Europe, sadly. Yeah, that's a bummer. I'm sorry to hear that. Uh, I'm always frustrated. Like I said, I'm frustrated when something is on Hulu because I'd rather watch it on Crunchyroll because that way I don't see ads. Although today, when I watched Arifureta, I was given the option of watching one very long ad instead of having ad breaks. So I watched a 2-minute trailer for a thing that I could tell you nothing about. other than a 2-minute thing for Squarespace that was not remarkable in any way. I'm amazed I remembered it was Squarespace. And then I then I got to watch the episode haul, which was nice. I don't know if the Shonen Jump app is available in Europe, but if it is, you might be able to read it at least. Yes, I've heard good things about Demon Slayer. I mean, obviously, a part of Demon Slayer is the animation. Is a beautiful. The fight animation is really strong, and really evocative. I do need to catch up. I heard this last episode is a doozy, and it's like a bit is a big cliffhanger. So, all right. So then we're gonna put on. I don't know if these are supposed to be hazard lights or something. So the piece that we dropped is just part of the tail. So I'm actually not even gonna get that. I will get that after the stream because I just literally don't want to get up right now. Patrick is doing Blair Witch in like 42 minutes. Oh, that's great. So my stream will end in about 42 minutes. So if folks want to go to Patrick Klepek's stream, they should. If you want to watch Patrick stream some Blair Witch. Squarespace. We advertise on every podcast and your favorite anime. Yeah. Or in my case, an anime. Because as I said, I'm not super into Arifureta. I think Demon Slayer is fine. Like, I'm caught up on Demon Slayer because it came out on Wednesday. You should do that raid thing. Yeah, Mr. Bob, maybe we'll raid Patrick if when we finish up, if he's streaming when we finish up, maybe we'll raid him. I'll go to the dashboard here and if he is sorry,
hospital for a while.
Oh no, someone else's stream. Oh, that we heard a second of Shroud there. My apologies. But yeah, maybe we'll go check out Patrick after the stream is over. See what's up. I don't know. Maybe we will. I don't know. Right now, we're hanging out, and I'm excited about that. Like I said, I got this piece that goes here. I'm not going to worry about it because nothing's going to be built on it. I'm just going to move on so we can keep building. Girly Podcast says, hey, I got to go to sleep. Have a great night, everyone. Thank you so much for stopping in. It's been a little while. Happy to have you. Yeah, please get some sleep. We'll see you next time. I turned 38 today and celebrated by making some homemade air-fried wings that turned out pretty good for my first attempt at the method. And now I get to see some Spooky with Scoops. Good day. Well, Asmo, first off, happy birthday. Let's all throw, why not, let's throw an emote in the chat and say happy birthday. I don't know why we're throwing my emote in the chat, but we are. But happy birthday, Asmo. I'm happy you're spending some of your birthday with me. That rules. All right, so we did that. Moving right along. And flat red piece. And dark red. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm very happy. Solf is here. Hi, Solf. Welcome. Yeah, thanks everybody who's here. I know that these road things can be a little odd. Like I always feel odd about doing them, but I'm glad. Like obviously the you guys conditioned. I understand that it is sometimes a little weird, and like obviously this isn't my preferred way of doing it. Like I like having the green screen. I like having good close up. I like having a good build space and all that. But also, if I didn't, then I would have not streamed since Wednesday and not streamed again until Thursday, and that's not good at all. Especially with some people who maybe aren't watching tonight, but will be watching in the future because they follow Twitch. Question, why is Blair Witch a thing in 2019? Earlier this year, we also got a World War Z game. Epic Open World, I don't know. I think sometimes licensed properties just get money thrown at them. and that's why. But that's my guess is that somebody got the license and is like, I mean, there was a movie. Yeah, that could be it. Um, Saul says, I wasn't aware until last night that anyone knew what the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee was. I saw a live performance of it in ASL in English, and it was great. Ooh, that sounds awesome. That's a great show for ASL. But yeah, uh, there was a Blair Witch movie a few years back. Yeah, I think people are just like, not always, but occasionally, like interested in checking it out. I was with a friend today briefly, and they were like, "Let's go see what that Blair Witch game is about." And I was like, "Oh, okay. You know, why not?" For some people, it might be worth checking out because, excuse me, apologize, because they're just curious, and if other people, it's just another horror game. Uh, I will say, I don't know anything about this game except that part of it involves you giving commands to a dog, and therefore I want to know nothing else about this game because my fear of something happening to that dog is too high. Um, I when I last time when I did Fallout 4, when I did a bunch of mods for Fallout 4, um, there wasn't a mod out that's new that I really love that I was really psyched about. Uh, Someone made a mod that like I'm playing God mode, so I don't have to worry about it. But there's a mod out there that removes the sounds for when dog meat gets hurt, because even though dog meat's not taking any damage, if someone shoots a dog meat or hits dog meat, the dog makes like a in in pain sound, and this mod takes that away, and I was like, that's a great mod because I don't want anyone hurting that dog. That dog's a good dog. So uh, I saw that the Blair Witch game involved you giving commands to a dog, and I was like, no thanks. I mean, I already wasn't gonna play because it's not my jam, but that's certainly not my jam. When I get back to New York for Thursday's stream, we will finally finish uh, number one most necessary Fallout mod. Right? We will finally finish our the surfer van, the first part of the surfer van. It's a 3-in-1, so we just have to finish the first one. Then we'll take it apart. We'll build the um, lifeguard tower. We'll take that apart. We'll build the little buggy. I'm very excited to do that because we will no longer have distractions, which we certainly had um, leading up to the stream because I was, as uh, trying to raise some fun funds, and doing the stickers and doing a few other things. So we won't have that. We won't have any distractions, and we'll be able to finish up that Lego set. I'm very excited to work on that because that's a fun set, and I'd like to keep working on it. But yeah, we won't have the distractions of me having to stop and do stickers. And at some point, I will do stickers on those kits that I didn't do. Uh, uh, I remember how hard it was to keep dog meat alive in Fallout 3. Yep, yep. Fallout 3, because like if you had a really good weapon, sometimes dog meat would just charge in and you would just hurt dog meat, and that was never fun. That was a bad thing. Um, Pat, during my playthrough of Fallout 4 early in the game, a main mission has you send Dogmeat away for some other companion. Dogmeat became lost, and I never saw him again. Oh, I'm so sorry. That's so rough. That's like, that's why I always say, and I know this is not the coolest thing, and doesn't maybe even help you. You gotta play Fallout games on PC. You gotta have console commands so you can like go to and find Dogmeat or respawn Dogmeat. Um, it was probably something where like you need to pair up with Nick or Piper or something, um, and then you sent Dogmeat, uh, and maybe just couldn't find where Dogmeat was. That's the worst bug in Fallout is losing a companion while they're not there. Yeah, 100%, Mr. Bob. That is definitely a rough thing. Um, but yeah, I always do Fallout games on PC because console commands can just really save your bacon. And that's unfortunate and annoying and shouldn't be part of it, but it 100% is. I had that in Fallout New Vegas. I lost Veronica. Veronica was supposed to go back to the outpost, and I went to the outpost to see what was up, and Veronica wasn't there. And I used console commands, couldn't get Veronica to come back, and kept looking and looking, and uh, then I found Veronica in the hotel. But the thing is, that was a glitch because I hadn't gotten access to the Lucky 38 at that point, which is what you get from house, and you can use it as a player home, and you can send your companions there. Eventually, they put in a thing at the gun runners where you can like reset your companions. They physically put that in the game, but that was not in the game at the time. Uh, so eventually, I just got there, which is great. So in Starfield, do we get Space Dog meat? Who knows? Maybe we'll get some sort of Eddie companion, some sort of robot friend. Robot friend would be pretty good. All right, we got another decal to put on here. I'm going to lean back again. It's been a long week, and my back is not 100%. Tonight, literally, if someone texts me, I really want to spend time with them, I will certainly consider leaving this Airbnb. But my plan, honestly, is I have food here, and I'm going to just kick back with some dinner and watch some anime and decompress as best I can, stretch out, and just kind of like really try to enjoy tonight. So I'm building these things here. These things will hold missiles. They're missile launchers, you can see, and they pop out on the sides, which is pretty neat. I didn't know that about this kit, so that's cool. I like that. But yeah, we're gonna keep building it. So there, you can see that. I'm not always on camera here, and I apologize for that. Yeah, this was a good show. Like I said, there are people that I miss that just don't do PAX anymore, and I understand that. Eric Pope is working on a game that's not announced, so it doesn't make sense. It made sense for him to go to PAX's when he was, working on a game that has a community because they could do a panel and meetups, and that's like it makes a lot of sense for him to do something like that. But right now he's not on For Honor anymore. He's on a game that hasn't been announced, and so there's no community around that game. I'm like 90% sure I'm going to clean up my office tonight so I can get back to streaming because I miss it more than the more I get busier with my day job. I hear ya, Eric Pope's For Honor. Yeah, I hear that, Asmo. I love streaming. Like I said, when it comes to Wednesday, I might wake up on Wednesday and go, you know what? I want to play Hearthstone. I'm going to stream myself playing Hearthstone. But I just know that, like, I'm just tired. And I think that tomorrow I'm not going to, like, get back to my apartment and feel, like, great. I think I'm going to feel exhausted. So I think that I'm probably going to take Wednesday off. But I could theoretically still do, like, a Friday afternoon stream or something. I think that that's totally plausible that I might do something in Friday in the afternoon before I go to work. It's almost a little weird not seeing Pope publicly promote something. Dude has been on his game for over a decade. Yes, Mr. Bob. It's very weird because he's like on a team working on a thing and not publicly facing about it. And it is odd. It is odd to have him like not out and about promoting the thing. You're totally right. Yeah, it was also weird, like, they don't go to everyone, but usually Alex or Dan goes, and, Vinny isn't always going, but he often goes to East, and it was odd not having like a giant bomb presence. It was very odd not having Jeff. I don't know the last time that Jeff missed a East or West. he has not missed East or West since I've been going to PAXs. So that was very strange. Of course, he has obviously a very good reason for it, uh, which we can all understand and appreciate. That why he knew very early on that he was not going to be making it out. All right, we got some sort of blades here, some something or other. And we got to put some flames on it because, after all, this is a boat, so it does need flames. I think he has done every East. Yes, as far as I know, I mean, I've done every East, and I believe he's been at each one. So, uh, yeah. I hope Eric Pope promotes a game I actually want to play. For Honor was not my jam. Yeah, Epic Open World. I mean, and the one he was doing before, one of his last hurrahs at Harmonix, Chromia or whatever it was, uh, wasn't what well, it wasn't good. It's not that it wasn't my jam; it wasn't good. But the whatever the sleep game, the shmup game that they made, one, Eric was not good at that great at that game, and two, that I did not enjoy that game. That was not for me. I forget the name of it. Uh, until as sleeps or whatever. Chrome was a rough game. It was kind of fun. It's still stuck in my Steam list. Yeah, I mean there was something there. It just they weren't gonna be able to pull it off. It didn't seem like. Um, but yeah, it is fun to think about. Like, yeah, like that's part of community. Is like, well, you got assigned to this game. Hope you're at least passionate about it if you're not good at it, and you can talk about it. I dug the Chromia idea, but wasn't any good at it when I did play it. Yeah, I remember like trying and just being like, nope, 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 no, no. Same thing with that shmup that the musical one. I really tried it. Like when they weren't showing it, but like Pope had it on a laptop, because they were still doing like Dance Central, but he had a laptop with it on it to like show some people, and I got a chance to look at it, and I was like, "No, I'm bad at this." He's like, "Well, what do you think of blah blah?" I was like, "No, no, I'm real bad at it. It's fun, but I'm bad at it." It looked cool. Uh, Mr. Bro says it's like Tron TF2, but everything has a rhythm mechanic. From shooting, dropping turrets, I could never drop a turret in that game. Well, that sounds frustrating. Yeah, I never played it. It just didn't look like something that was going to be something that I would be into, which is a shame because I still like harmonics, but it's also weird that like I'm not surprised they weren't at the show. Like I don't think I should be surprised they weren't at the show. Like they do East because it's kind of like their home, but they don't really, like I don't know. I think a big part of the harmonics formula was that you could have fun while being bad. Yeah, I think that's true. I think like party modes and when they opened it up and made it easier. Oh, that's cool. So this folds down and folds up there. So the boat can, be aerodynamic in the water, but then also pop open for like attack mode when it's time to fight. Oh, okay. And then this I think this is actually really cool. Um, so this will close up, and then this can come around to shoot the missiles. That's neat. There's some tricks to this. I'm pleasantly surprised. Or letting one instrument play at one skill level, the other. Oh yes, Mr. Bob, that was so important, and they definitely knew that. That like, yeah, you have to let people play at different levels. We have to, figure out how to make that work because not everyone is going to be as good, and people of different abilities want to play together. Yes, I think that was really important. Oof. I think I posted a photo of it but there is a rock Guitar Hero 2. Someone set up Guitar Hero 2 um, with a CRT next to the free play area, the classic console free play area. And I mentioned it, and then someone said, that's not part of classic console. Someone just set that up. We don't know who did it. It's not part of the regular thing. And I was like, what? That's incredible, because that means that someone carded in a CRT just to leave that and a PS2 and a copy of Guitar Hero with everything unlocked. And that's incredible. I assume it was just somebody, it was like somebody related to something, and the person I talked to just didn't know who did it. But I think that's pretty great. I finished my sticker kit somehow. I only feel bad about one of the 20, says Mr. Bob. That's awesome, Mr. Bob. Congrats. That's a very high ratio of feeling good to bad. So congratulations to you. All right, basically we're doing the same thing we did with the other one. It's just you couldn't do it. You couldn't do both of them at the same time, I guess, which is fine. Whatever. They don't want me to do the same one twice. They want me to finish it completely and do the other one. We'll do that. We'll put a sticker on. Asmo says, Final Pack stuff for me. I love the Borderlands franchise in spite of plenty of reasons not to. I cannot be more ready. Who the hell stands in line for 3 hours to play a game that will be out in like 12 days? Look, hey, I've said this before and I've said it again. Everyone has their own PAX, and I'm not here to judge your PAX. If your PAX is going to the Regency and never leaving it, and all you do is play new games or games you always wanted to play but you can't afford, or you don't have a crew to play, and that's your PAX, that's your PAX. And I'm happy for you. Enjoy your PAX. If your PAX is waiting in line for 2 hours to give money to Bungie to buy merchandise, and you're like, oh, I got this Bungie merch. Hell yeah. That's your PAX? That's your PAX. If you only go to things where you think you can get free stuff and all you want to do is try to get the next free thing, and that's your PAX, that's your PAX. And yeah, if you're waiting in line because you love Borderlands so much that you cannot wait to play Borderlands, because maybe Asmo, you can't buy Borderlands in 12 days. Maybe you don't have the funds. Maybe Borderlands 3 is your Christmas game or your birthday game that you get in October. And so like this is your chance to play it now when you can. Do I personally think it's better to like go to Indie Mega Booth or go to the 6th floor and go to the like the Polish games crew and play a game that you can just walk up to? Certainly. I've never waited in line for a big budget game ever at PAX. I got to skip the line at PAX a bunch of years ago to watch a demo for Assassin's Creed Black Flag, and I was like, great. I would not have waited in line for this otherwise. But yeah, I mean, everybody's got their own version of what is a good PAX. I think the older I get, the less inclined I am to wait 3 hours for any game. Yeah, and you know, and some people are like, if you're with a crew, you're not solo, you're with a bunch of people, and like you're all gonna wait in line and talk about what you're doing, and you've got your 3DS out, and you're gonna like do some, you got Pokemon Go up, and you're gonna do some Pokemon battles. Like there are ways to have fun with it. Like I said, it's not my cup of tea, but I do get the inclination to like, have your PAX. Good legit points. My PAX has just been shifted too much towards the Indie Mega Booth 6th floor experience, looking for things I never hear otherwise. Totally understand. I was super stoked when Jen shouted out the same game I played at the end of the panel. That's awesome. Yeah. That's very cool. That's weird. This is weird. This is a weird cockpit, right? Like that's odd, right? This is the cockpit. It goes like that. It's a weird boat. It's like a party boat. We gotta put the struts on there. But yeah, we're almost done here. I did the same wait for the kicker. The longest I waited was Connect Steel Battalion. That was a poor idea. Yep. I did the same thing for the kicker was I knew that shit was too small, so I didn't even get a souvenir off that terrible experience. Oh, the shirt. Oh yeah, like a free shirt, but you were like, this isn't gonna fit, so I'm not gonna bother. Ugh, been there. Um, yeah, like I said, I haven't waited in line at PAX because there's never really been something that I was like, I gotta play this. I did wait in line for. Okay, I I'll bring it back. I waited in line about 20 minutes to play PUBG when PUBG was really popular because the idea of doing LAN PUBG was really interesting to me, and I wanted to play LAN PUBG with a bunch of people because it was at a lot of booths. PUBG was really popular at with like PC manufacturer booths, so I did do that. So I will admit to doing that. All right, so this person goes in here and hangs out in their boat. And then, uh, my point of pride was I was the only one who could finish the demo. Hell yeah. How much PAX only merch do companies do? So Epic World, some of it's like exclusives that then eventually will be on their store. Or it's part of like not just PAX exclusives, but maybe convention exclusives. Like um, Supergiant Games has convention exclusives. And then eventually they might sell some of it on their store. But some booths just sell stuff that they sell on their websites, you know. Um, some people do like the big one. I built a boat, indeed. Uh, One of the big things you'll find at a convention, Epic, is at the PAX conventions is the Penny Arcade pins. Penny Arcade is a. I keep looking there because that's. I'm sorry. Penny Arcade. Penny Arcade is the pins, tradable pins. People purchase them and then trade with their friends. Uh, uh, and it is so it wouldn't make sense to sell Penny Arcade pins just on their store or outside of it. And some companies don't sell them; they give them away. If you won a game of Jackbox, because Jackbox was set up on the second floor in this kind of like hangout area, and you could go and play the games. You know, if you got in, and if you won, you would go up to them and they would give you a Jackbox Penny Arcade pin, um, which is cool. All right, so like I said, this thing has missile launchers here. You can load them and shoot them. We won't put the missiles in. Uh, and this is gonna. Here's the fun thing. Here's what I get to do when I get home is open up these two grocery bags that I have and see if the Legos, the kits inside, didn't get too messed up. I'm going to be packing these uh, like surrounded by clothes, so that hopefully will keep them from jostling too much. Uh, but also like whatever, I can rebuild these. And also, as you may know, I find great comfort in doing Lego sets, so it will be nice to reassemble these and relax. I will just These will just be building for me, which I rarely do. I almost never build anything off stream because it is a part-time gig. So I don't buy. If I'm going to buy a model kit, I'm going to stream that model kit. Yeah, I remember Connect was not great. Dance Central worked well, also because Harmonix was never near other Connects. And also they knew what they were doing at Dance Central. They figured it out by the third one. So Dance Central always demoed well, but other things didn't demo as well. Um, we'll hang out for a little bit. I got a little bit of time. I don't want to. If you want to hang out here, we're done with our kit. But like yeah, this opens up like this, which is kind of cool. For access, I like this cockpit. I like these things that can turn out. The flames are fun. I will say, let's talk about this flame. Put it there. This flame is multicolored. This plastic, I think, looks really sharp. I don't know if it looks how great it looks on camera, but in person, this looks real good. Uh, and yeah, overall, this is a fun boat. Ninjago. What is this thing called? I forget what this is called. The Ninjago uh, Katana V11, which is fun. I'm gonna check to see if Mr. Clip Clop has gone live. Let's see. No, he has not gone live yet. Uh, so I probably won't raid him because I don't think he is gonna go live while we are doing this. Let me just. Thank you, Mr. Bob, for sending me a photo of what you were working on while I was streaming. Yeah. We'll try not to ruin Seattle anymore before you come back. I appreciate that. Yeah, I think I'm going to wrap up here, folks. I do occasionally don't do the full 2 hours, and I think that this is a prime time for me to not do those full 2 hours because I'm very tired. So I'm going to eat some food, and I'm going to watch some anime, and I'm going to decompress, and I'm going to get a lot of sleep before my flight tomorrow. And that sounds good. Uh, Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. I'll be back again. I will my proper setup on my desktop computer with the green screen behind me. We're going to work on that surf van. Thank you all so much. Reminder to renew if you use your Twitch coin. Renew that subscription. Cash Money, it does it automatically. New subscribers, starting tomorrow. It's time to do it. Thank you all so much for hanging out. For folks that weren't chatting tonight, hey, you don't have to ever. But if on Thursday you want to come back, or on Saturday I'll also be streaming because I stream Monday, Thursdays, and Saturdays, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern. Come back again, chat a little bit. This crew is great. Join the Discord because that's lovely. And it is not super active. It's consistent, but not super active. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you the next time on the next Build with Baer. Yes, Silver Streak, you did. Yes, I am just wrapping up. Sorry you missed it, but thanks for being here. Thanks for popping in, and good night, all. I'm gonna go into OBS and stop the stream. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.